Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this afternoon mountain weather update on this Friday. All right, to live cameras here. This is up at Schweitzer Ski Area in northern Idaho, getting hit with some pretty good snow. That's at the Lakeview Triple. Here we are at the Basin Express and then the village. So it is snowing all the way to the base area right now at Schweitzer in northern Idaho. Take a look at it on radar here out of the Pacific Northwest. So some rain and snow depending on elevation, but you can see that push of moisture up towards Schweitzer and that extreme northern part of Idaho, snowing up in parts of BC, snowing in the high Cascades and the volcanoes, and even some precip now kind of rolling into extreme northern California. That's all part of the storm system that's going to be sinking to the south, and it will actually brush all of the Sierra as the storm kind of pivots into the interior over the next few days. Let me give you the lay of the land here. So this is water vapor satellite imagery. Oranges and reds are your drier air aloft, the moistures and the whites and the blues, and you can see our storm system right here rotating. So the eventual track is going to kind of go down like this, and then it will start to turn into the interior states, deliver snow to Utah, Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, and eventually also New Mexico. Now, behind it, you can see the spin up here in the Gulf of Alaska. That's going to send a cold front out ahead of it, and that'll come in behind this area of low pressure, cruise down through the Intermountain West with a lot colder air. So we'll get some good snow production out of this cold front. And then on the tail end, and nothing has changed, on the tail end of that front, there's going to be some energy that's going to be back here, cut off from the main flow, and that will redevelop into a stronger storm and hit many of the same areas through Colorado and New Mexico on the backside. So all of that is still in my bullet points for this afternoon. These were the same points I used this morning, and the update, I really haven't changed much. The data looks very similar. So storm system 11.2 through 11.4 for the Intermountain West, followed by the cold front 5.6. And then we have the cutoff low on the backside, which becomes a major player for New Mexico and also Colorado. Let me just show you with the jet stream here, what the afternoon update looks like on the jet stream. So there's your jet by the close of business. So you can see the dip in the Pacific Northwest. And there it goes. Rolls all the way down through parts of Nevada and Utah. And this is 11.2. Now 11.3 prime time. This is where the trough is really maturing here, where the base of the trough is right over the four corners. So we'll have snow, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, probably northern New Mexico by the time we get into Sunday night, especially into Monday. And what's going to happen here as I advance this one more day, there's a low. The low will strengthen in southeast Colorado at this point. And so we're going to get some good flow, some good rotation around the low and some upslope over the front range foothills of Colorado. And of course, the mountains and certainly the southern mountains of Colorado and northern New Mexico. Then that low moves away. Here comes the cold front. You can see the north-south orientation of the jet bringing that colder air in. And then watch what happens on the backside. You see the circulation that gets cut off from the main flow? That low comes out of the four corners and moves through New Mexico, Colorado. That's 11.8 and continues into 11.9, and then it moves away. But that's a big player in this forecast. All right, let me show you what the forecast radar and satellite look like. So here we are today at 5:30, storm system in the Pacific Northwest and precip up and down the coast. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. Here we are at 11.3. So snow continuing over a lot of the Intermountain West. BC, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Utah, Colorado. It's starting to build in. And there we go. By Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, some snow starts to develop over northern New Mexico, and it's really becoming much more widespread over the mountains of Colorado. And now between Sunday night and Monday morning, let me move into Monday morning, we could see some light accumulations of snow. It'll probably go from rain in Denver and across I-25, to over to some light snow on Monday morning in Denver with some light accumulations. That's certainly possible. If you're above 6,000 feet, foothills, Palmer Divide, those areas west and south of Denver, you could see several inches of snow accumulation. And look at that deep blue over southern Colorado, northern New Mexico. There's your snow, really good snow accumulations in those areas. And that low starts to move away by Monday 11:4 in the afternoon. Here comes the cold front diving down from the northern plains. It's all snow. The air is much colder. Montana, BC, parts of Idaho and Wyoming, Utah, Colorado. Here it comes, dives down through Utah and into Colorado, where we're going to see a decent snow event for it. Looks right now for Denver and the I-25 corridor. This is Wednesday. We're going to see it's going to be all snow, probably with accumulation. And the low continues to spin. This cold front, now the backside of it becomes the big player sitting over the four corners. The low spins up, and then watch what happens. Here comes the low starting to make its move. This is Thursday. Here we are Thursday night. Friday. I mean, so it takes a couple of days for this thing to move out of New Mexico and back into Colorado. And now we're into some heavy precip here. This is definitely snow accumulation across Denver, the Front Range foothills, the Continental Divide, and then it continues on Saturday, and finally it's gone by Sunday. But that's 2 or 3 days solid that this thing could redevelop and hit many of the same areas. All right, let me go into snow accumulation. So between the rest of today and all of tomorrow, some light accumulations through parts of the Sierra, the Wasatch. That mainly happens tomorrow. The Tetons, Idaho, Schweitzer gets a couple more inches up there, and 2 to 7 up there through parts of interior BC. Now here is the big time period. And it's very similar to what I was showing this morning. I didn't change a whole lot here. Um, so looking at probably 6 to 10, 6 to 12 through the Wasatch, the Tetons, Big Sky, and Bryan Head. The area that really jumps out to you is still Colorado and New Mexico. Anything in purple, that pink purple, is over a foot, and that's a lot of places. That's Taos, Ski Santa Fe, Angel Fire, that's Cuchara, that's a lot of southern Colorado. And this is probably going to be snow all the way down to the valley floors in many of these places. And I want to pay special note to the Front Range high peaks and the foothills where we could see a foot or more of accumulation. That's going to be a big one. And it's likely that we would, with this type of setup, if it's perfect, we would likely see heavy snow accumulation in Denver, all the way down in the city. Look at the big numbers back through Summit County, I-70 and beyond. So that's a pretty healthy time period. That would be a major storm system. All right, here's a recap. So there's period 1. That is the rest of today through tomorrow. And here again is period 2, 11/3 through 11/10. And that is really the combination of 2 to 3 different storm systems right there. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in here to this Friday afternoon mountain weather update. Always appreciate it, and have a great night.